9:30 and it's 27 degrees now. Woo! We roll our soybeans, and that's what I'm gonna do today, is roll a few soybeans. We got a few that when we planted them, the soil was a little yucky yet, and we didn't want to pack it down anymore, so we left them. And now we roll them when they come up out of the ground. They're far enough along, and today the temperature is warm enough that we can get in there and kind of just smush them down and not break the stem, because they're pretty, I guess, flexible in this kind of heat. So we'll do that. We did some black beans yesterday, and we'll take a look at those. I wasn't really happy about doing the black beans, but we didn't have a choice, and there was just way too many stones not to do them. Some people may wonder why we roll soybeans. Here's a good example. This is why we roll soybeans. Stone. Now, we probably should have picked it, but as our combine header's coming across and clipping these beans off, we want to be able to kind of ride over top of any stones. And by rolling the stones, we're able to basically flatten them down to the ground so they're level with the dirt, and that way they don't impact the combine. We prefer to roll our soybeans before they come up. So like as the air seeder is in the field planting, we like to be kind of right behind it by no more than a day or two, because soybeans can grow really fast, and they're very susceptible to breaking off their stem as they're emerging through the soil. They kind of hook through, so they kind of grow up bent, and they're pulling the cotyledons through the soil like this, and they're kind of look like a candy cane. They're susceptible to breaking at the top of that arc, and we don't want to do that. So we tend not to roll them when they're too close to coming up, because it can cause a problem. So this field got rolled kind of right at planting, so it didn't impact emergence at all, but we kind of got behind because of weather, and there's some farms we had to do after they come up, and we start usually when the first trifoliate comes out. The stem's long enough that you can kind of roll it and it doesn't impact the beans. You get some damage. It's a lot cheaper than putting a stone through a combine. This is a field that Jack rolled yesterday. So when you roll, you're gonna probably run over some stuff. You're gonna wreck some beans. Probably more so from the tires turning on the headland than anything else, but like there's an example where we wrecked the bean plant. But what you'll see happen is a lot of times they'll actually start shooting stems out the side anyways. You know, this top leaf got beat up, but the new trifoliate's still good. So you get a little bit of that. Sometimes that's just from turning, because the roller goes slow on one side and faster on the other, and it kind of twists and wrecks it a little bit. But like, here's a interesting thing where we're actually still dealing with damp soil. Like this area here just took forever to dry out. It's one of those wet spots. You can see by the slice in the soil when we planted the beans, and the fact that the beans aren't real great in this one spot. But you know, it's hard to believe that July 5th today and we still have damp spots like that in the soil. So that just gives you an idea how wet the spring was. But when you look at it, you know, you wouldn't think these soybeans 12 hours ago got rolled, and they're not really any worse for wear. Like, even here's a tire mark where Jack drove through with the tractor, and sure, we got some beat up beans, but like, this one's still gonna survive. It'll be fine. So it's hard to even tell that we went through here with the tractor. So that's why we don't get too concerned when we can't get them rolled at planting. And we do it this time at this stage because yes, we get damage, but as I said, it's still cheaper than putting a stone through a combine. A little nervous. We're coming up to the field we rolled of black beans yesterday. I never have rolled edible beans when they're up, so I'm going to take a quick look to see how bad we wrecked them. I don't think they should be too bad, but man, it's really heart-wrenching when you're driving through a field and you're rolling down nice beans. Just going to leave the truck running quick because It's freaking hot and I want somewhere cool to go. Looking at them, we are okay. That's makes me feel good because Jack did this because I didn't have the heart to do it. He came back with the roller into the yard and he's like, I didn't like doing that. I don't like running over beans, he says. But we had to, as I said, because we just had enough stones here that we couldn't risk not rolling them. As you can see, these were rolled about 20 hours ago. And because the weather was right, we had enough heat and the stems were rubbery enough. And I think strip till helps too, because they're in a bit of a trench with strip till just because the road cleaners throw out some trash. So this tends to hold the roller up here a little bit so they're not flush to the ground by the beans. And I think that does kind of help out a fair bit. But feeling better about the situation here. So all in all, they survived and they look good. Yeah, so this is a spot where I'm just going to randomly insert me rolling beans. I just had the GoPro on the roller and it doesn't really have a mic or anything, so enjoy watching me roll beans.